All right, here we are. Page 3. And this one is way easier than page 2. So this one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts that we need to cut. So just to remember what it looks like, this is page 3. We're going to make out these swinging pockets that you're going to be able to slide some recipe cards into. They have magnets under them so that they won't just go flying all over the place when you go to open your book. And then just another base pocket. I think almost every page has just a regular pocket. When I showed my mom this book, because that's who I'm going to give it to, she was thrilled that, one, she didn't have to write anything in the book to keep the recipe, and two, that it was just full of pockets. So she can take those notebook sheets of paper that she's written on. She can take, I don't know, backs of envelopes that she's written recipes on, and she can just stick them in here. And she likes that she can take her card out, use it, and put it back. So, made my mom happy. She's not the easiest lady to make happy, but I didn't say that out loud. So, it made her happy, so it must be okay. So that is our next page. It will not be as long, take as long to do as the last one. No special funky tools involved. Just regular pockets. And we've already done swinging pocket arms, so you all are already pros at that. Here's page 3, base page, top, spine, bottom. These are my pockets and my swinging arms. So there is A, there is B, and there is C. So I told you that if there were any mistakes, I would fix it on here. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So A, this one is A. This is A, this is B. So A is going to be 5 1/2 across, 4 1/4 up. We're going to score it at 1/2 inch on one side. You're going to have a door that goes on the left and a door that goes on the right. A little swinging arm door, whatever you want to call it. So when I write on them, I like for my writing to stay up. Again, I worked in special education before I worked in art. If you don't care if they're upside down, then it doesn't matter which way you fold it. So there's my page, my A, remember, towards the hump. So there is A. One will go here. One will go here. They are barely, they're not going to touch. Yeah, let's make them where they don't touch. In the other book, I think I moved them so that they did. But I think that interferes with my magnets touching for the upper one. Plus, I was using heavyweight cardstock on that one. But I think we're going to line it up with the bottom corner like we do our pockets. And our top corner. And then they won't quite meet in the middle. And that's going to be fine because we're going to have magnets. And I think that they will stick better. So, if you get out B, B is 5 1/2 by 5 1/4. And we're going to, I did this wonky, I'm sorry. You're going to put your 1/2 inch score line. Again, this is our 5 1/2. Along the top, along the side, and along the bottom. Along the top, along the side, and along the bottom. This is going to form the pocket that is going to go on the front of this swinging arm. And it's going to be open over here so you can slide your cards in and out. So we put our pocket on top, and there's our hinge to make it swing, baby. So here's our humps. We're going to kinky miter it. Remember, curve it just a little bit at the end. All right, go ahead and fold all those in. All right, so we've got all those good and smushed down. Remember, your third edge, this is your top, your bottom. So your end on your pocket, actually, because it's the end piece, is going to go where your hinge is. We don't want to put it on the hinge, right? We want to fold it under and have it be right there with our hinge. Some people have made these to where the top and the bottom, but that requires additional math that I just have not figured out. You'd probably only have to increase it by 1/8, and that would probably work, but I didn't do that. So that's how we're going to glue it on both sides. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. I had to take a break earlier, take my mom to the grocery store so we can get snackies. My Aunt Darlin is coming over. I got to drive about an hour to pick her up in the morning. Bring her back so she can stay the weekend with my parents. My parents live next door. They are both in their 70s. And as independent as they can be, my dad still drives. My mother has not driven in, probably 20 years. She was somewhat driving about 10 years ago. And then she finally told me that she has to pick her right leg up off of the gas and move it over to the brake. And that's when we decided she was not going to be driving anymore. Now, she can drive a golf cart like it's nobody's business. Not because she golfs, but because we live on the lake, on a lake here in Oklahoma. And so she uses that to flitter around the neighborhood. We found an abandoned place next to them that finally went up for sale a few years ago. All right, so here's our hinge. Here's the bottom. We're just going to line it up. Line up your corners. Go in. There it goes. And then smush it down. So it finally went up for sale. It had been abandoned about 14 years. My husband, God love him. It took him about 2.5 years of working on it every weekend, but we totally regutted it. New roof, new floor joists, new floor, new walls. We changed the layout. So it works well for us. Our daughter lives in Stillwater. She's a big girl now. We have room for her when she comes, but we don't have enough room for her to stay. See what we did there? If she wanted to stay here, she'd have to move down to the boat dock because there ain't enough room for her to move back in. Thankfully, she doesn't need to. All right, so we're going to attach these. We're going to do the bottom one first. Put my little scrimmaging of glue. I'm going to line up my bottom right corner of my pocket with my bottom right corner of the page. Line it up the side. Looks good. It's not completely lined up here, but it's, you know, it's paper. It's never going to be perfect. Then we're going to do the top pocket. You want your pocket. Here's our hinge. Put our scrimmaging of glue. Line it up. Press it down. I do want to make sure that it doesn't get stuck on this one. There we go. I think we're good. So we spent a few years fixing up the place next to them. And now we live next door to my parents. So we're spending New Year's Eve with them and my Aunt Darlin. Bunch of dips. Chicken wings. We play this game named Farkle. My parents are obsessed with it. So we'll be playing. There will be a lot of farkling going on. And then we'll hop in the golf cart and bring ourselves right back home. All right, so we do want to put... Nope, let's do this first. Let's put our bottom pocket in first. So here is C. It is 9.5 by 3.5. And here's my little... I don't know what I've done there. You're going to want to score it at 1/2 inch on the left, the bottom, and the right. Then we're going to kinky miter it. Fold all of our parts down. There might be margaritas involved tomorrow because my mother likes her margaritas. She puts them in a tiny glass because then she says she's not drinking as much. But when you fill it up 8 or 9 times, you're still drinking a whole glass of a margarita. Parents, what are you going to do other than raise them? All right, so here's our page 3. Here's our 2 pockets. Down at the bottom, that's where we're going to put this pocket. And it's going to fit right there. Again, I do not want this to be on the bend. Okay, see this line here? You do not want your pocket to be on that line. Because if you put it on that line, this is not going to close as easily. So you want it to be just to the outside of that line. You should still be able to see it. And then it will close. Learned that one the hard way too. All right. You're good to glue or tape or safety pin it or however you attach your stuff. I'm kidding. I've never seen somebody safety pin a page. Line it up with this corner, not on my score line, just next to it. See, I do have a little bit of overhang over here, but it's going to be fine. Push it down, make sure everybody gets to know each other. So that is how that will look. These pages are all hollow in the middle. This side where my fingers are saying hi, hello, that is going to be where we slide it onto our hinge. This side we can either leave it or, and I will probably do it this time around, we will make something that will slide right in there that you can take out and you could add pictures to, or newspaper clippings of recipes if you've got them that old. But you will have additional space there. Those baby books that I've said I've made, I actually made like files, little booklets that went in there so it would hold double the stuff. And my sister-in-law filled all those up too. All right, so now we're going to put our magnets because we want these to stay down. So I don't want this one to get stuck right up here because that won't work. So this one's going to go down lower so that it will be in the middle of this when we close it. So there's that one. Sticky side up. Oh, come on. Fold it over, push it down. There it is. And my favorite sound, I love it when they snap together. All right, turn my page over. Get my magnet. There's that one. Sticky side up. Sing the song Let It Go because it gets stuck to my fingers. There we go. And my friends, we did page 3 in 15 minutes as opposed to, I think page 2 took an hour. So there it is. I know it's kind of bubbled up now, but once we put more paper on here, that will help make it sturdier so it will stay down better. This is where our, and unless you're just a crazy ripping the pages over, I still don't think this is going to fly out. We will have a ribbon closure on the end of our book, so that will help keep anything like this from flying out as well. See, I need to glue it there. Squeeze a little in. There it is. I was wondering because I usually have to clean it up on most parts. All right, page 3, my loves. I will see you in the video for page 4. Bye.